Good day, everyone. This is the morning of day 3 of date. Crossing at perfect conditions, about 5 knot average in the last 24 hours. Good morning, everyone. So yesterday I did my updates from the cockpit. So today I thought I'd bring you inside my sleeping cabin. So that's kind of my setup right now. Cabin is not designed to be sleeping like in this way. It's designed to be sleeping that way. I'll show you why. It's more deep this way, but I just find that the boat is listing kind of this way. So now my feet are down and I can put my feet at the end of the plate there and hold myself. So that's my setup. So it's been a good day. I've averaged 5 knots in the last 24 hours, 122 miles done. I can't really go any faster these days, and the wind is good enough. I mean, 5 knots average on 24 hours, it's not bad. I could pick up a bit more wind and go a little bit faster. I'm kind of on a close reach. There's not the wind to open up the sailing angle so that I could put the code 0. All in all, it's been a super good day. Very calm seas. As you don't hear the boat crack or moan or nothing's going on really. It's just driving straight 5 knots, so I'll take it. That puts me a bit behind on my forecast. I thought I was going to do this trip on 18 days for 2,700 miles. Right now, on that, I'm about 60 miles late or 50 miles late. Because I lost, that's 150 miles per 24 hours average, and I lost 20 miles the first day. I did only 130 miles, and I lost 30 miles today. So I'm 50 miles late on the average, but there's opportunity to pick that up. The wind is supposed to get stronger today, according to the forecast, and I'll show you that. So we'll see what it does. So I thought I'd show you the fun stuff right away. So this morning you can kind of hardly see them there, but if you look right on the bowsprit, there's like 2 birds over there. And I'm showing you this to show you that, this is a 5 knot average day. So I've done 122 miles over 24 hours. And look at how the sail plan is super quiet. The boat is not rocking or rolling anywhere. Everything's going nice and easy, and it's just flowing super easy. So that's the kind of stuff I like to have. I mean, I would be desperate if I was doing like 1.5 knots and the boat was just be bobbing in the water. But right now, like, I have almost no wave. It feels like a big lake. Like, I know people tend to not believe it when I say Lake Pacific, but this is Lake Pacific, and I have a lot of these conditions when I go offshore. And the further offshore you go, the more that's the kind of conditions you're going to encounter, which is super fun to be sailing in. Yeah, so that's the conditions for the last 2 days, which was kind of fun to be sailing in. And I'll show you my friend there. Like, there were 2 when I woke up this morning. One of them flew away, and this guy is there, and he's still mending his feathers, trying to sort out whatever he needs to sort out in order to start his day. So that's where we all are in the morning. So the next slide is going to show you, like, I'm doing these points. You'll see I got a screen capture of the map here. So that first point where you see the 122, that's the point I was yesterday, and the red triangle is where I am today. So that gave me like what I was talking about, like a 5 knot average for the last 24 hours, which is absolutely good. So I just this is the update that I use to make up my mind as to exactly what I want to do. So you see the forecast today, the wind's supposed to increase a little bit, as well as get towards a beam, towards like a broad reach, kind of, not a broad reach, but a beam reach. So I'll be going this way, and so this is all based on predict wind. So if you look at the the forecast here, see this is 128 of longitude west and 9.5 north. Here it's again 129. It all has me like starting south. These two models go a bit more south, so I guess it depends on, they're forecasting maybe a bit more wind here. It all depends on if I bring the boat forward, so I just use a scroll bar to do that. The big game is, where do you cross this zone here, which is the ITCZ that everybody's talking about. So if we follow that here, that's the optimal route that it's picking up. So see, I'm on Thursday the 20th, which is like 7 days away from now, which already I don't trust that forecast. I mean, the software does a really good job of meshing all these forecasts together with my theoretical boat speed and the kind of conditions that I'm gonna hit. And see, these three forecasts are making me go down furthermore to benefit from these stronger wind than this here. But the reality is I don't need the stronger wind, because I think I like that route better, although it's a bit longer. This is a more direct route. The trick is, what am I gonna get when I cross here? So as I go forward, I'll start trusting this part of the forecast, but all of this is wind where I can hit like 150 miles, sometimes even more every day. I don't know how much I want to do that, because I want to preserve the boat. I don't want to push that too hard. So I'll see. I'll adjust how as I'm going, what exactly I want to do. So if that materializes, if that forecast here happens to be true, we're looking at Friday the 21st of April here. And I mean, this doesn't look like a lot of wind, but this barb says 10 knots here. What did they say in the, so they say 8 knots on the little square there, with 9 knots here. 8 to 9 knots. If I get that to cross the ITCZ, this will have been like a trip that's been blessed, because in 8 to 9 knots I can totally, now I'll have to assess what I'm going to do with that, because the ITCZ is known to have like regular thunder showers. But if I get 8 to 9 knots, I can put up my my code 0 in those kinds of wind, and I can really hit some good speeds in there. So we'll see how that all materializes. But it looks like a solid forecast, only it's a forecast that's looking 10 days ahead by now. So I mean, I would not trust a forecast 10 days ahead, though it looks like a very stable kind of pattern that should materialize itself. And this looks like it's going to be the lowest point of wind here at about what are they calling here, 7 knots. But you see, if there is 7 knots there, I can sail. I can use that to sail. And if it's accompanied by a period of very low thunder shower activity, that'd be like that's going to be a dream passage. And this is what I'm hoping. With what I'm seeing here, if this can happen, I'd be the most happy person possible. Now, looking in more short sort of time frame here, if I look at let me switch that here, and Pacific crossing, let me put myself on that dot here. Not sure, Prediquin asked me to like define like a place that I want to be in the ocean, whatever. So that's the forecast. Like, so I'm about here right now. I'm a bit just shy of, this is Socorro Island. So I'm about just in this period here. So if I move the forecast forward, you'll see today's supposed to increase and actually help in terms of moving more northeast, which should give me like a more open sailing angle to, and I'll be able to start making some south on that. So all that is good stuff, and I hope things stay the way they are forecasted right now, because that's just some dreamy condition. Like when it gets to 15-20 knots, I don't need that. I like having, well, 13-14 knots is perfect. Like that's actually, I mean, you can't ask for anything more. This here, like at 20 knots, that's a bit much. You don't want that much. You don't need that much. Like 10 to 15 knots is ideal for my boat, and I can do 150 miles per day all day with those kinds of conditions. So that's kind of the weather brief for today. Let's go see my energy status. So I didn't use my I'll just stop that here. Come on. I didn't use the hydro generator for the first night. It's been in the water for all of last night and all of today. I regret not having put it in the first night because I using Starlink and all the computers and the whole boat system, the autopilot, all the GPS, that created a lot of power draw on the whole system, and it drained my batteries pretty low, and they're still in kind of a low state at that point. Although I've had some spectacular solar performance. I'll show you. This is my main solar array here, and if you look at yesterday, yesterday is probably my record in terms of solar production. I've never, if you look, these are all my previous days down here when I was in Vallarta at the marina. So all of this is sort of my average solar production. And look at yesterday. Now, the bad news is this bluish part here is when the battery go and float. So yesterday I didn't hit float at all. Like the solar panels just charged the whole day at the maximum they could, and they gave me 3.15 kilowatt hour, which is a huge amount of power when you look at it. And that's just one of my array. The other array here, if I can get to it. Huh. Looks like it's got a bad Bluetooth connection. Ah, there you go. Now it's logging in. Again, like record production yesterday, 1.34. So indeed, I got like 4.48 total kilowatt hour yesterday. And that's on top of that, I have the hydro generator running. So that's a lot of. I've had a lot of power produced yesterday, and that kind of kept me afloat because the battery this morning were not drained down as much as yesterday. So you see, I had 163.1 of power drainage. Now I've been charging for a little bit now, but that was the maximum depth of discharge. I've discharged more the day before that, so I think it was around 205 amp, that kind of stuff. So the hydro generator made that 40 amp difference over the day, which kind of, allowed me to save, like come ahead 40 amps today. So I'll leave it in. The bad news is I got to draw about 20 amp more than yesterday today, unless I take some pause on my YouTube bad habit using the Starlink. But I mean, this is the kind of luxury that I've bought myself with I have 735 watts of solar, 400 amps of lithium battery, and the hydro generator that's generating all that power for me. So now I can run Starlink, I can run the whole boat system on a 24/7 basis and not have to run my diesel at all, which is I mean, I'm happy. I'm happy with that rig. I don't need anything more. The fridge is working also, so that's a very good thing here. So today I'll consume 20 amp more. So maybe I'll shut off Starlink for 3 or 4 hours and get ahead of my energy consumption curve, and that'd be a good thing for everybody. So that's about where marine traffic. So marine traffic now is kind of, because I have Starlink. Like I used to track my my traffic and my AIS data strictly based on VHF signals. But now, because I have Starlink, I'm able to access that website, and you see how fast it refreshes. Starlink is just a game changer. Like it works. I'm getting 100. I'll show you a speed test right after this. But right now, like I'll show you just what my traffic picture is. Is that me? I'm not even sure if that's me anymore. Where am I? No, can't be me. This one here. So that's me right there. So I found myself. You can there's a search function that you can find me, but if you Google marine traffic paradigm 2.0, you should be able to find me. So if I zoom in on my position here, sometimes you'll see I have two echo there, and that's me an hour ago and that's me now type deal. I'm not sure why the AIS does that, but then if you look at the scale here. So this scale here shows us 30 miles, and I can't access that because I haven't paid the membership on there. But if you look around, you know, like there's no boat around me for like 60 miles, 60, 70 miles. So that makes me feel like really safe. Obviously, you can't 100% rely just on that. This is Socorro Island right there. You can't rely on just that. But it's giving you a great idea. So I know the next boat that I'm likely to encounter is this one here. So that's the one who's coming towards me, and and so that gives me like a great situational awareness, and that's all due to Starlink. So I'll show you just a Starlink speed test right now. So if I zoom out the map, I'm about like 200 miles away from there's Puerto Vallarta right there, and there's Cabo Corriente. This is Manzanillo. All of that is the west coast of Mexico. To better situate, this is Cabo San Lucas that a lot of people know. Mazatlan's right here. I'm right there. And zooming out the map, like if I go more up the map here, then this is California, San Diego, and all that. So just to get you the picture of where I'm at in the world. And I'm kind of far away from land at this point. And this is the kind of performance I'm getting out of Starlink. So if I just speed test this, you'll see. So that's my ping, and that's a bit, well, it started a bit low. Well, now 140, 180, 190, 200 megabytes per second. Come on. I mean, in 2015 I was parked in Los Angeles with a Time Warner cable connection, and I was getting 50 megs a second, and 25 upload, 20 upload, around there. While the boat is moving, it's losing this. All this for a rig that Starlink and SpaceX says that it shouldn't work. Like it actually should not work. So I get 250 megabytes download in the end and 14 up with a ping at 122 millisecond, which is kind of, you know, it's a bit slow on that. But I mean, keep in mind that's the normal RV account from Mexico. Not the global roam. They haven't pushed me on the global roam account yet. I hope they don't, but we'll see. But it's not. It's the standard antenna. It's not the antenna that that is designed to be in motion. So that's a game changer to me. Like that's phenomenal that I can get this kind of connectivity up here in the middle of the ocean.